I'm not sure if it's a trend, but because what we're seeing is the need for mobile learning, and that doesn't feel like a trend for now because we've been talking about it for so many years. But if you look at the stats, they're saying that there's only 25% of schools have actually embraced this whole mobile learning, and the benefits when schools are deploying it far outweigh the ones that aren't. So as much as it's still a trend because it's not at full adoption yet, that's why I think it's really key. And then the other one that ties in with that is the desire for results, and that's always been around our education system for, since it started, but the desire for results is even more prevalent now, and technology is absolutely driving those results. You only have to look at how technology is being used in like a sporting environment. We went to see a school where one of our resellers had put in a solution, and they were filming the kids playing basketball and throwing javelins, and then they're comparing them to elite sports people, and the way they're able to doctor the information that they're getting because of that tablet. So then when in my day, when you used to stand in line waiting for your next turn to shoot the one basketball, you're now reviewing it so you can improve it for next time. So that desire for results is still there, and technology needs to be driving that desire for results. The Ofsted inspections, schools live and die by that. So anything that they can do to increase that is all good for those schools. The change of customer needs is certainly security, but a lot more on-demand access. Just like we as consumers are, getting everything as and when we want it, the parents, the teacher, and even the student required an on-demand learning environment as well. So I think that's the big sort of changing need of the customer. The trends at the moment, certainly we're seeing a lot of mobility and a lot of desire for results, but that's a continuation more than a trend, I would say. It's absolutely vital, and I think the challenge is to stay ahead of the kids, and that is not an easy challenge for the parents nor the teachers. I think I've seen lots of YouTube videos where there's a 1-year-old opening up, his parents' iPhone. So that's the world that we're living in now. So the challenge for the teacher and the parent to stay ahead of the kid is not an easy challenge. And when resellers are putting kit into an education establishment, they must consider the consumption and the usage. Without the technology being used in the appropriate way, it's not going to achieve the results and the desired effect that the establishment is invested in. So I think if, as a reseller, if you're just putting the kit in and leaving, I don't think that's the value-add service that a school needs. The school needs the support of training into the reseller, into the parent, and into the teachers. Now, my advice to a reseller would be to use the resources that are around them. So Microsoft, Apple, HP, they're all really good training programs where they employ a lot of ex-teachers and get them to go to schools on behalf of the reseller, with the reseller, and help them train their end user, help them train that education establishment for the needs of the technology. Westcoast has also invested in our Westcoast Training Academy, where we have a similar resource where we can train the resellers so they can go and scale that out to these education environments. One of the demands in schools at the moment, like in consumers, is on-demand access, and cloud can completely enable that securely and as effectively as it can enable the consumer. So I think where we need to bring in parents more into the education mix and into the education-like environment, that's where cloud can play that piece. The parent needs to be able to access, as does the teacher, as does the student. So I think that on-demand access is where cloud can really play that part. And with the security, obviously nobody wants or needs any student records going missing. So the security that cloud can bring, as well as the on-demand access that it can bring, is going to enable learning to be consumed by the teacher, the student, and the parents in a completely different way. So I think that's where schools are starting to embrace that cloud learning platform. I think the only thing that resellers should bear in mind is the importance of it. Security, the need for records, even the legality around it is so important to an education environment that resellers just need to be so clear that security is almost, I think when in surveys from head teachers, it almost ranks up there, because there's legal obligations that they have to the students of their schools and universities that they must keep. So what I would say resellers need to bear in mind is the importance of security, and it's almost sort of start from there and work back from the solution. Vendors have started to realise this as well, and Windows 10, I'm sure we'll speak about, but Windows 10 is created extra security features. HP have invested in a technology called Sure Start, which is a pre-BIOS boot up, which is extra security enablement on their new Windows 10 devices, because they can see the need for that extra added security within an education environment. So Windows 10 is a perfect fit for education, and it's mainly built around the security features. There are numerous programs that vendors and resellers both run. HP Financial Services is one that we're really championing at the moment. It allows you to buy your technology, and they will finance most technology. We haven't had an example of anything that they won't finance today, but they will finance technology much like you finance your mobile phone or your car today. So if a school needs 100 PC rollout, but they haven't got the capital expenditure to lay out today, HPFS will finance that for them and give the reseller and the education establishment monthly payments, so they can pay it off over a longer period, and it moves it onto the operational budget as well. So it's a really big benefit, and that's how education environments and also the commercial via HPFS can get access to better prices and to be spread out. It's being able to be as productive as you can be in every environment. Now, if you look at a learning environment, there will be a need for field trips and sports lessons where you're going to need a tablet environment, but there will also be a need for lectures and writing and English and maths and equations and Excel, which isn't so easy on a tablet. So it is pure productivity to be able to dock and undock and be mobile and be productive and be desk-based and field-based. That's what the luxury of a two-in-one gives you. No different to a plumber that's out in the field and then back in his office. It's the same thing. That's why education should really be looking to embrace technology and to be embracing the two-in-one device technology. The benefit of having a Windows 10 machine, even over a Windows 7 or Windows 8 upgraded machine, are vast. There's new technology that HP and the other manufacturers have built into their Windows 10 machines, like Cortana and Hello Windows, that will run well on Windows 8 and 7 machines, but they're optimized. These machines are built around the Windows 10 environment, so they're optimized for Windows 10. The microphone chips, the usability, the touchscreen, Windows 10 has been built around a touchscreen. So the new technology and the new machines, and some of the machines, particularly from HP, that are coming out are really spectacular for the functionality and even the look of them as well. The kids that are used to maybe having their fancy device at home and maybe come and have a substandard device in school, that doesn't need to happen anymore. They'll actually should be able to get a better machine when they come and work in school. So I think the way that resellers can capitalise on this opportunity is understand what that machine gives to an education environment and look to be able to do a device upgrade. Look at the training programs that are available to make it as cost effective for the school's environment. Technology in education is always going to be imperative. It's been there. Technology's been a driver and a leader of education, as well as all the other segments in the market. But with education, it's going to take it to the next level. And I think what our resellers need to do is understand the needs of the education environment and find the technology mix to fit with that. Whether it's the school might be trying to develop the next wave of future coders, or whether it's trying to find a solution for a special needs child, that technology has a space to fit each one. If you look at the advancements of 3D printing is now a lot more prevalent in the class. There's these coding solutions where Minecraft and Kodu games, worldwide events where are bringing on children's learning. That's a learning method and environment that we didn't have sort of 5-6 years ago. So the advancements in technology, and it goes back to keeping up with the kids and keeping up with the environment that we're in. And technology can adapt to any use, so it's about understanding what the outcome needs to be and putting the technology for it. So technology will drive the education market forward. The education market is so wide and ranging. It's everything from nursery to university, special ed, and everything else in between. So I think if the education reseller can understand what their customer is trying to achieve and then relay that information back to distribution and the vendors, we can really help. That goes everything from being able to recommend the right pricing, to the right technology, to the right training. But you need to understand what the schools are trying to achieve. I think the first question that we answered was, what are the trends, what are the needs? It's all about results, but without understanding what the establishment is trying to achieve, you're not going to be able to help them achieve their results. So really tailor your solutions to the audience that you're working with, so understand and immerse yourself in your customer.